Good morning everyone, I hope you can hear me. A little bit of cloud around this morning and a few waves washing up on the beach here, but I've come down to the beach here this morning. We've got a little bit of high cloud on the horizon. I'm just keeping a close eye out. We've got some waves starting to wash in around my legs. I think the tide's actually receding this morning, so I think the water's going to move away. But yeah, I'm down near the entrance baths this morning, and there's a concrete pier or a concrete groin here that leads out into the sea, and I've always wanted to photograph it but never been able to get a decent sky here. So this morning I've come down. We've got a little bit of high cloud that's exactly in the direction I want. I'm going to get myself set up here and fire a couple of shots this morning. I've already got a couple in the early morning light. We had that little bit of pre-dawn colour which was really nice. It's starting to fade off a little bit now. I'm going to move around here, look for some more compositions and see what I can come up with. Currently my shots at the moment, I'm down to about 6 seconds at f5.6 in the pre-dawn light. And what I like about this shot is the way we've got this leading line of this pipe work. I believe it's a pipe that's actually covered with concrete, but it almost looks like a groin or something you would see in the UK leading out into the sea. And I'm utilising that leading line leading out towards the sunrise on the horizon. There's quite a bit of swell on the horizon, so I'm just keeping an eye on the waves here this morning because every now and then we get a little sneaky one come up. But I've fired a couple of shots vertically and horizontally. I'm actually just focusing manually in the pre-dawn light in the foreground, about probably 5 to 6 meters in front of me. And I'm not too concerned if at the end of the shots the depth of field or the focus starts to fade off a little bit, because it doesn't really matter. A lot of the waves are covering that area out there at the moment. So I'm going to keep firing some shots here and we'll see how we go. What a morning this has been. Chaotic would probably best describe it. We've got some nice colour up high in the sky there now, and I'm just firing shots at about 0.6 of a second, and I'm trying to get some of this white water as it's washing away over the top of the groin. Some really nice colour up on the top of the sky there at the moment. I've got the groin leading from the right to the left across the frame. Just keeping an eye on my exposure at the moment, trying not to clip in my highlights.
Okay, so let's pause the video there. If only I'd taken my own advice and been sure to check my exposure after each image and make sure I wasn't clipping the highlights. It wasn't until I came home and I checked this image that I realised I'd actually blown out the sky. I was really annoyed and disappointed with myself, and as you know, once you've clipped the highlights or you've got sections of your image that's been blown out, there's nothing you can do to recover them. To be honest, I don't know whether I was busy caught up trying to vlog and talk to some of the locals who were in the area at the time. However, I was really disappointed with myself for making such a rookie error. So I guess my best advice would be to make sure you check your images after every shot. Check it for focus and exposure. There's nothing worse than getting home after spending all that time going out and taking images and realising that you've got something that's unusable.
But that little bit of high cloud we've got this morning is just providing some really nice soft light. I've just got some really nice light pink reflections in the foreground on this wet sand that looks really nice as well. I'm in two minds as to whether to change my composition at the moment. I think I'll just sit on this one. It's working quite well. With my focusing this morning, I'm focusing about a third of the way into the frame along the right hand side here. I've just zoomed in the darkness, and I've actually manually focused, and I've just left my camera on manual focus so that it's not hunting, looking for focus in the darkness. I would dearly love to get just a little bit closer, but it's a little bit difficult at the moment with the way these waves are. Colour's just backed off ever so slightly at the moment, so just waiting for a little bit more to appear as the sun comes towards the horizon. Well, it's a little bit of a waiting game at the moment after that first probably 15-20 minutes prior to sunrise. Nonetheless, I'm quite happy. I've got a number of images just prior to sunrise, so we'll just see what the sun does as it comes up a little bit more. I returned to the same location a couple of weeks later. However, due to a low tide and the cloud being right down towards the south, I had to alter my compositions dramatically. I'm back here for day 2 and just some slightly different compositions this morning, and actually had to change my approach towards the shoot this morning as the tide is quite low, but we've got some really beautiful cloud down towards the south this morning that's just illuminating, so I'm going to grab a couple of shots here while I can. Nice morning to make our way back here this morning, just waiting for one of these waves to wash up over these rocks now. You can see the image there on the back of my screen. I've just got the 2 angles here and here. I'm just using them as a V shape to lead out towards some of that colour in the horizon, and I'm just waiting for some waves to actually come through this section here and wash over all these rocks, and I'll fire the shot. I was just using a 2-second timer this morning. I'm not using a cable release. I've got my composition set. I'll just fire a shot there now. We've got some lovely white water that's foaming in around these rocks, and the beauty of this position is I'm up nice and high. The swell this morning is not too large, so I can stand on the top of the rocks quite safely here. The waves are just high enough to come up over the top of the groin of these rocks, so this is not the composition I was after this morning. However, I'm going to settle on this one. Currently I'm at a f5.6 and I'm shooting about a 1/4 second shutter speed at 100 ISO. Ready to pack up now, and that's the end of this vlog. I was glad I came back and was able to fire a couple of shots here this morning. I was really disappointed with overexposing the image in that first vlog, so it was really good to come back here today and finish the vlog off and grab a couple of shots of this really nice sky. That's it for this week's video, guys. You know what to do. If you've enjoyed this video, go down below, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, then please subscribe. Tap that notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload my next video. If you've got a comment or a question, leave them below. I'll always respond. Hopefully I'll be around shooting some more landscape soon. I will see you then.